twisted new season of The Traitors is finally here.
What did I get myself into?
The prize, $250,000.
I'm gonna lie and cheat and do whatever I have to do to win.
If you're gonna come for me, I'll finish you.
Shame on you!
I'm out for blood.
It is like a firing squad. Boom, 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 boom.
Let the games begin. Emmy Award winner, The Traitors. New episodes streaming Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, only on Peacock.
Bruno Mars, I Just Might. Let's talk about it. How y'all doing? Welcome to Let's Talk About Music Reviews Season 12. How y'all doing? Welcome to the show. Guys, we got a pretty good episode for you today. We got Bruno Mars. I mean, look, I knew this album's coming out next month. I saw the whole, teaser for it. Bruno Mars posted, hey, my album's coming fucking out. And I'm pretty excited for this new album. It's been... I can't believe I have to say this, guys, but it's been over 5 years since Bruno Mars has dropped a goddamn album. So, I mean, expectations are pretty fucking high. And we got this new song called I Just Might. Now, going into this song, I don't know what I'm going to be expecting. I don't know what the sounds are going to be. Let's just get into it and talk about this damn song. Starting out, let's talk about the instrumental. Now, the instrumental is... kind of reminds me of, the last previous album from Silk Sonic. The way the drums are, they have the same rolls, they have the same kind of vibes, the same kind of rhythm. So you definitely have those same kind of familiar drums, which I've heard a long time ago before with the whole Silk Sonic thing, which... it's not that bad if you can, switch it up or add something to it. I will say, I like the drum rolls, and I do like all the different elements. The horns in here, I think the horns are one of the big standouts. But one thing that I don't like about this song is definitely the background vocals. I think the background vocals kind of take down this track, kind of take down the vibe. Silk Sonic had those kind of smooth, kind of R&B-like background vocals. And I don't really want another project like that. I do want something different. But sadly, this does kind of feel like Silk Sonic Part 2, just with Bruno Mars in it. And, even from the talk, there's even a lot of talking bits on here that reminds me of this Silk Sonic sound. And hopefully this is just one single having those kind of vibes. But already, I'm kind of getting remembering of the past already. Now... I do like the drums, I like the horns, I like the vibes there, I like how the instrumental slowly builds up, I like how there's a whole beat switch, in the middle of the song, so there's definitely different elements that's happening here, which I do like, and I think they overall sound pretty good. Definitely my complaint, though, would be these background vocals, and another big complaint that I do have about this song is the constant talking. I mean, from line to line. Look, I know we did it a lot on Silk Sonic, but... man, don't y'all get tired of hearing artists, talk and, have to, refine their points they made singing? I never knew I had to say this, but, Sabrina Carpenter did this on one song where she was constantly, talking about her lines and stuff like that. And I got Bruno Mars every fucking minute going, he'll sing a line and then he'll talk. He'll sing a line, then he'll talk. He'll sing a line, then he'll talk. He'll sing a line, then he'll talk. And I thought I was kind of losing it a little bit, I was like, is this just me? But then I'm hearing the whole entire song, and from 0 to the end of the song, there's constant talking throughout the whole entire track. And I guess that wouldn't be a big problem if you had a fucking beat switch, or you had a flow switch going crazy. I mean, there is a little bit of some drums, having a different role once we get to the bridge. But there's not a really noticeable beat switch on here. But I do like the switch up, so I'm not going to really drag that down. Now, what I do like, though, is the singing. I think the singing on here is one of a kind. Bruno Mars can always fucking sing his ass off on a track. Honestly, I kind of wish he was sung his ass off even more. I kept listening to the song, I kept going, oh shit, come on, Bruno Mars, go fucking crazy. Let it fucking out, do your goddamn thing. There were some moments where we definitely got that. But, I think the vocals are a little lacking on this song. I think there is too much talking and not enough, kind of just letting the song speak for itself, letting the singing speak for itself. And then you have some terrible background vocals, but you have really good Bruno Mars vocals. So it kind of just, is this weird combination of really good singing, holy shit, this sounds great. But then there's talking that kind of ruins that vibe. Then we get back to the singing. I'm like, all right, we're having a good fucking time. And then we get back to the talking. I'm like, all right, man, can we fucking retire this shit already? Like, after 5 years, we're still going to do this whole, like, talking stick over and over and over again. I mean, look, it was fine with Silk Sonic, but even Silk Sonic, you know, it makes tracks drag along. And this isn't even a music video. It's not like I'm stopping and listening to a music video, you know, something like that. No, this is the audio. This is the streaming. This is what you're going to hear when you're streaming the song. So I think the verses kind of go down there, in my opinion. And also, too, these verses are kind of the same. First one, I like the singing, I like the talking, but then we get to the second verse, and it's still the same, singing with the same flow, the same talking, and then we get back to the hook. Now, there is a bit of a switch up. You know, you have that bridge where Bruno Mars kind of, you know, stops, the instrumental kind of rolls together. You're like, okay, this shit's fire. You know, he's singing his heart out, he's doing his goddamn thing, he's fucking, you know, adding to the goddamn vibes. And then the song just kind of stops. And the song just goes back to the hook. And I think the hook is overplayed a little bit too much on this track. So, and let's get into the hook. So let's just talk about the hook. Because, I mean, I was really trying to like this hook. And I think I do like it. You know, I like this hook. I like the singing. I like the whole hey DJ thing. You know, that sounds pretty good. I just wish there was a little bit more to this hook. It's just kind of that same line. And then there's like, he does like a vocal runaway. You know, he runs his vocals out, you know, he does that little line, and then you have these background vocals, in my opinion, that just sound kind of terrible. So you have some terrible background vocals, which doesn't really sound that good, in my opinion. So I think that's definitely disappointing. And overall, this song reminds me of Silk Sonic if it was a downgrade. And I didn't know I'd be saying this tonight because I was like coming out here ready to fucking love this new Bruno Mars track, ready to fucking praise it, do my goddamn thing. Y'all know in 2020 when Bruno Mars dropped, that shit was so good that I was ready to give fucking 10 out of 10 to Bruno Mars. Like, that's how good his last, like, little album was. So, you know, I just kind of sit here and I go, damn, this kind of feels like Silk Sonic leftovers, and not the good leftovers. This is the leftovers that's sitting in your fridge for fucking 5 weeks. And I'm just kind of shocked that 5 years later, we're still, you know, trying to keep in this same ass sound. And what's worse, we're not evolving it. We're not making it sound better. We're actually downgrading it. We're not.
I had that dream again. My small business needs to hire, but I don't use LinkedIn, and I hire wrong. So our orders get all backed up. We're drowning in paperwork, then actually drowning, careless fighting off sharks with a stapler, and pirates are pillaging the office copier, and then I wake up.
Don't let hiring nightmares ruin your dreams. LinkedIn Jobs' new AI assistant goes beyond the resume, using unique insights to deliver a smarter shortlist. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/quality. Start hiring today with LinkedIn.
Adding really anything to it. We're keeping the same shit. It's just Bruno Mars now doing it alone. And I don't think that's something I really want to hear, that I really want to vibe with. And I don't know, this hook kind of feels empty. First part too is that this hook is played like 3 or 4 times throughout this whole entire track, and I just kind of sit here wondering, wow, your album's finally done and this is your first single off of it? I mean, damn. So, I mean, overall, guys, when we talk about Bruno Mars, I just might, you know, I like the instrumental to a certain extent. You know, I like the drums. You know, I like the horns on here. I think the horns sound fucking fantastic. But I think the talking is definitely one of the big drawbacks of this track. And I also think, too, I'm just going to be honest with y'all, the background vocals are fucking terrible. These might be one of the worst background vocals that I've heard from Bruno Mars in quite a fucking while. You know, I never thought I'd be saying, you know, background vocals are terrible. You know, they sound fucking terrible, but goddamn, they sound fucking terrible on this song. I'm just going to be honest with you. And this hook, I think, is a little bit too empty. It's played over and over and over and over again. It's like, goddamn, can we, like, add something? Like, the bridge doesn't even feel like a goddamn bridge, in my opinion. So overall, I'm kind of disappointed in this song, and like I said before, you know, if this is the first single off the album, I am very concerned for this album, and next month is coming out like in February. I'm definitely concerned. I hope to God that this is not the same ass fucking Silk Sonic terrible leftovers. I hope this is something a little bit new. I really hope it's something new. I hope it's not like this right here. This is a bad example, in my opinion, of the album. So, I hate I have to do this. I really wanted to give Bruno Mars, like, all my praise tonight. I wanted to fucking love this song, but I just can't stand here and fucking say, yeah, this is a banger-ass track. No. This track kind of sucks. Like, from hook to verse, from the bridge, what the fuck? I thought this man did fucking coke. I thought this man was, like, off the walls with talent. Where the fuck is the talent? What have we been goddamn snorting? Alright, let's fucking fix it, because goddamn, get off the shit. Make some good-ass music, because what I've heard today ain't that fucking good. So overall, I'm just gonna have to give this track like a fucking 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10, guys. What y'all think about it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? I don't know. Let me know. If you're on YouTube, Spotify, Pandora, wherever you get your podcast at, make sure you follow, turn on notifications, guys. We're dropping new content every single day. Thank y'all so much for listening to this episode. Thank you for listening to the show. I'm disappointed with Bruno Mars, but hopefully the album's good. Hopefully this is just one single where I don't like. Hopefully it's like the Roselia album, or it's like, you know, other albums that I reviewed in the past, you know. Hopefully it's something like that. Alright, guys.